All right, let's get into Sunday, man. Sunday, which is obviously the weekend cap. You have the NBA Legends Award. We assume as co-hosts here that will be a highlight of the actual NBA top 75 best players. I think they'll highlight all those players, really give them the love, give them their just due. And I read a little note there. 61 of the 75 players on that list are still alive. So shout out to them, man, for still being alive and being able to attend the awards. I hope all 61 of them are there, man. And then you got, after that, 12 o'clock Eastern on NBA TV, you got the NBA G League Next Gen game. That will be between the G League Ignite and the Cleveland Charge, another home team there. And then you have, obviously, the nightcap, the main event, the 71st NBA All-Star game. This will be 8 o'clock Eastern on TNT. You got Team Durant versus Team LeBron. Team LeBron, they are actually the favorites. They are 6-point favorites. The over-under, you guys can clearly see it. I was going to have you guess at it. But fans, the over-under is over 300 points. You got 319 and a half as the actual official. It's funny to even say that. 319 and a half is the over-under here officially for this game. Again, Team LeBron, they are 6-point favorites. Team LeBron, who is coached by Monty Williams. The starters are LeBron James, Giannis, Steph, DeMar DeRozan, and Nikola Jokic, the Joker. And then Team Durant, the starters there are Joel Embiid, Ja Morant, Trae Young, Andrew Wiggins, and then Jason Tatum is actually replacing Kevin Durant, who's out with injury. Reserves for both teams. The reserves for the team I just mentioned, Team Durant, you got Booker. We highlighted, man. He should have been a starter. Cat, my pick for the 3-point contest. Cat, he's a reserve there. Zach LaVine, Chris Middleton, Rudy Gobert, LaMelo Ball, and DeJounte Murray, who the last two players, Ball and Murray, they are replacements for Kevin Durant and Draymond Green. Again, those are the reserves for Team Durant. And then going back, I should have did this earlier, but Team LeBron, the reserves for that squad is Luka. You have Darius Garland, hometown favorite there at Cleveland Cavaliers. You got Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler, Donovan Mitchell, Fred VanVleet, and then you got Jared Allen, another Cleveland Cavalier who was actually an injury replacement for James Harden. Fellas, the nightcap, the biggest event, man, the reason why we're here, the 71st NBA All-Star game, that matchup with Team Durant being the favorite, 319 and a half is the over-under. Let's do it, man. Let's pick a winner.
All right, I'll go ahead and start. So this is LeBron. I was watching the draft. This is LeBron's 4th year as a captain. Apparently, he's 3-0 on his teams that he's picked. Looking at Team LeBron, you got obviously some heavy hitters. You got Darius Garland that you mentioned. I think LeBron, he already mentioned, Darius Garland. I think he's gonna push hard to get Darius Garland a win, and a win for Cleveland and Darius Garland.
This is for you.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna try to give Darius Garland an MVP. But when I look at Team LeBron, they have a lot of guys that have been there before. The only way I see LeBron playing super hard is if he's trying to get Darius Garland a win or a win for Cleveland. I don't see Giannis coming out and giving super effort. Steph's been here many times. Jokic is probably going to play limited minutes. It's kind of not really that kind of game for him. Luka's kind of been here before. Chris Paul's old. And then I look at Team Durant. I think Embiid is still going to play hard even though he's been there. Ja, he's young and hungry. He's going to play hard. Trae loves these type of games. These games are great games. This AAU style, these are great games for Ja Morant, Trae Young. Mm-hmm. I think Jason Tatum is still a young, hungry guy. He wants to play well. Wiggins, I don't know how I feel about Wiggins. Love Booker. This is a great game for him. Zach LaVine. This is a great game for him. You got guys like LaMelo Ball and DeJounte Murray. I just think Team Durant is younger. They're more of that
more spry. A little more
spry, a little more AAU up and down style. Mm-hmm. It is the first year for the Kobe Bryant MVP award. And I'm going to go with Team Durant, and I'm going to go with MVP, the guy in the league that is very similar to Kobe Bryant, and the guy who idolized Kobe Bryant. I'm going to go with Devin Booker with the MVP.
I love it. Okay. That little MVP pick. I love it. Okay. And you going with Team Durant, right? Obviously.
Team Durant. Yep.
Sorry, man. Sometimes I'm looking at the rosters. I'm looking at the names, and I kind of miss out on what you guys say there. So you going with Team Durant, or you going with Devin Booker winning the MVP, the first Kobe Bryant MVP award. So I love that. Zay, your turn, man. Shoot it.
Yeah, and I don't know how anyone can look at LeBron.
This guy, man.
What happened?
You see what he looks
my
like?
Lord. Sorry, I was looking. I took it off my screen.
I don't know how anyone can look at LeBron's roster and say this team is not capable of winning. I think that this team, it just sticks out. You know, LeBron, he's obviously, we never know. We don't know how many years left he's gonna have. You know, we think he's gonna play until his son gets into the NBA, but he's gonna play this event like it's his last event. You know, and Giannis, the Giannis LeBron duo, that's dominant right there. And then you got Steph Curry, who will jokingly throw up about 5 threes and make them all. And then you got DeMar DeRozan, who can score anywhere on the court. Jokic, you got Jokic, who could do the same. Luka, who's just a straight up baller. Darius Garland, the hometown hero, which if he pours a bucket, you know the entire arena is gonna go crazy.
Be live.
Yes, Chris Paul, he's the veteran guy that's gonna make sure everybody's having a good time, but also being serious because they want to win. You know, Jimmy Butler, he out there balling. And then you got Donovan Mitchell and Fred VanVleet. Oh my gosh. Yeah, LeBron and one.
LeBron and one. Okay, you fans cannot see it, but Zay, he has a nice little, what do you even call that, man? What do you call those things?
Filter.
It's like a little filter.
Yeah, you can replace my icon with this for this week.
Okay. So Zay, you going with Team LeBron. Do you have an MVP?
Yeah, so Team LeBron wins it. Something tells me that Darius Garland is going to show out in his first NBA All-Star game. So that's a dark horse to think about. But I think Chris Paul will take this one.
Ooh, wow. Okay. Chris Paul action, man. I love that. All right. And sorry, fans, if the sound actually goes in and out with my mic, it's simply because I'm kind of going back and forth. I'm rocking back and forth, trying to type everyone's pick as well as talking to the mic. So it's just a little tough. All right. So Team LeBron, Zay, that's your pick. And then BG, you going with Team Durant. Obviously, we talked about the MVPs. You guys are going with 2 Suns players. So keep that in mind, okay? I really like just looking at these teams. Again, you guys both made some great points, man. You got some young cats, you got some older cats. You got some guys that have been there before. You got some guys that, you know, first time in the big lights when it comes to this type of game. The hardest part for me, I am kind of looking at the age thing, because someone like, in particular, Jimmy Butler. I don't think Jimmy Butler plays many minutes. I would be surprised if he plays more than 8 minutes. Like, legit. Chris Paul, I think he's gonna play hard. He's gonna be there. Like, he may not have too many of those, so I think he'll play a good amount. Jared Allen, I mean, again, he's a reserve that's coming in for Team LeBron. I think he'll play hard, but he's kind of that junkyard dog type of player. Like, how much does he actually play in the second half? Kind of when it's time to, you know, really get serious. I don't know. But then you also got in that starting lineup, man, with Team LeBron. You got, obviously, LeBron, you got Giannis, you got Steph, you got DeMar. DeMar, by the way, who just broke the Bulls. No, maybe it couldn't have been an NBA record, but definitely the Bulls record, Michael Jordan's record, the most amount of 35 plus games in a row. That's pretty impressive.
It was DeMar DeRozan. He's the first player in NBA history with 7 straight 35 or more points and 50% or higher shooting.
Wow. Okay. So there you go. There you have it, man. So that starting lineup is potent when it comes to team LeBron, but the bench, just relatively speaking, with Luka, Darius Garland, Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler, who again I don't think plays that much, Donovan Mitchell, Fred VanVleet, and Jared Allen. I'm just looking at the reserves. Like, to me, Kevin Durant's team on the reserves is better. You got those reserves I just mentioned versus Devin Booker, Karl Anthony Towns, Zach LaVine, Chris Middleton, Rudy Gobert, who's been there a bunch of times, LaMelo Ball, he's going to be a highlight, and then DeJounte Murray. So to me, the leg up goes, if we're talking about reserves, it goes to Team Durant slightly. When we talk about starters, it's got to be Team LeBron. And I'm thinking end of game, because you guys know fourth quarter comes around. That's when the NBA said, hey, now start to play a little harder. All right, this is what the fans come for. So when it comes to actually playing fourth quarter, I gotta go with Team LeBron. And if LeBron don't win anything this year, because you see what the Lakers doing, if they don't win anything, at least he can get a win in the All-Star game. So I'm gonna join you, Zay, and I'm gonna go with Team LeBron in this matchup. And then my MVP here, I gotta go with why not, man? The hottest man in the NBA right now. Give me DeMar DeRozan. Hottest man in the NBA right now. I like DeMar DeRozan. I like DeMar DeRozan to win MVP here. Let's do it.
I just, to me, man, the thing that's tough about picking this, obviously, if you're picking one of these teams to win a 7-game series and they're playing serious, then Team LeBron's probably sweeping 4-0. But I just don't think that those starters are going to play as hard as you think they're going to play. Maybe LeBron, I doubt,
they're not going to play hard until the fourth. Well,
yeah,
we know that.
Yeah. And you got a lot of guys that are at the top of their conference, or, in top seeded guys that, they kind of need a rest. They need a rest. I just think in the All-Star game setting, I think you got a lot more guys on Durant's team that this is their event. This is their main thing for the year, and they're trying to show out. And I think they're just going to play a lot harder than Team LeBron.
I'm sorry. I don't care how much rest, because you got to think, after this game Sunday, after this weekend, they got about another 4 or 5 days before they play another game. So they're gonna be in Cancun, they're gonna be in Tel Aviv, they're gonna be in wine country somewhere. They're gonna be doing it big somewhere. They know they're gonna get a nice little vacay. I'm not going against LeBron. Yes, old LeBron. I'm not going against Giannis. I ain't going against Steph Curry. I ain't going against the hottest man in the NBA right now, DeMar DeRozan. I'm not going against Nikola Jokic, who's going to have a field day. I can see him getting 15 assists, literally, probably in the first half, especially with that total being at almost 320. Then you got Darius Garland for Team LeBron. You got Luka, Chris Paul. Again, I don't think Jimmy Butler's going to play much, but Donovan Mitchell, he going to get a couple highlight dunks. Fred VanVleet, he going to get about 3 or 4 threes when it matters. And then Jared Allen, he gonna be running the floor trying to slam dunk everything, trying to take the rim off. So all these players are really good, man. It's the NBA All-Star game. It's a nightcap. It's the weekend cap for a reason. But I like Team Durant. I like Team LeBron. I definitely see Team Durant making this very competitive. And again, it's gonna be all fun. It's all for the fans. The NBA does it correctly, man. They highlight the past, they highlight the present, they highlight the future when it comes to players within the league, within the association. And this is the best. Again, this is the number one when you're talking about All-Star weekends, All-Star events, All-Star games. And I can't wait until Sunday, until the actual game happens, where you're going to see the best of the best in the world have some fun on Sunday.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
You picked DeRozan for your MVP. But Zay picked Chris Paul for his MVP, picked Darius Garland for his dark horse, right? So you talking about MVPs, well, who's your 5 down the stretch? Because if you got Chris Paul and Darius Garland, the hometown guy, as MVP getters, you ain't winning MVP if they ain't in down the stretch. So who's Chris Paul replacing out of that first five? Who's Darius Garland possibly replacing? I think, and that's what I think. I don't think that starting five for LeBron is finishing the game. I think some of those guys are going to give up their spot. I
can see Steph not playing at the very end. Maybe not.
Yeah,
not Steph. I can see Nikola Jokic not playing at the end.
I can see Steph possibly not playing because he's and I can just see it right now. Like when I think of Steph Curry in the All-Star game, I think. Yeah, I mean, he already plays every NBA game like it's an All-Star game. Exactly. If you really think about it, like he
plays so many minutes. He hasn't missed a game this year. I feel like
he's throwing up shots, and they gonna fall. But at the end of the game, and it's not gonna be Chris Paul and Darius Garland at the same time. But one of them, whoever has the better game, will definitely be in replacement of Steph Curry. And then it really with Team LeBron is who's having the best game. It's really gonna come down to that. I can honestly see maybe as you mentioned, Jokic or DeRozan, stepping down.
That's a great question, BG. That's a great point because again, it is. If you actually, I don't know who's actually sitting here trying to really dissect who is actually going to be winning this game besides us, and that's why we are the best when it comes to the NBA, the Coach C NBA show with BG and Zay, because we the type of people, we gonna break this down for y'all. We are invested in the NBA, but I don't think too many people are breaking this down. I'll let you get to your point, sorry, but again, these are things you look at if you actually sitting there trying to figure out who's actually gonna win this game. Because again, you got to think, like BG said, who's actually gonna be playing in the fourth? Who actually needs the rest? Like who actually can get hot and maybe take a starter's place at the end of the game? Like all those things you got to consider. BG, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, I'll tell you who for sure is not in at the end of the game, and that is Andrew Wiggins. He's not in the game. Put D Book in, Devin Booker in. Honestly, I don't think you can play Ja and Trey at the same time at the end of the game. You're talking about winning the game. Honestly, I would take Trae Young out. I would go, if I'm closing the game with Team Durant, I'm going with Joel Embiid, Ja Morant. I'm going with Devin Booker. I'm going with Rudy Gobert for a rim protector. Mm-hmm. And then either Jason Tatum or Zach LaVine. And I'm leaning Zach LaVine. I know Jason Tatum's my Duke guy, but I'm talking defense, man. You're talking about the end of the All-Star game where they're trying to lock up for real. I'm going to go with Zach LaVine for defense.
And he can make a shot. He's a shot man.
And he can make a shot. So that's a good unit right there. That's a tough unit. So We'll see. It's going to be nice. It's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool, man. Cool. We done did it enough, man. We have done this now, what? An hour? A little over an hour? Hour 15, hour 20. So we good to go, man. If y'all good, I'm good. I'm excited as always. And of course, we've highlighted this enough, and I'm glad that it's actually happening in terms of the All-Star weekend coming up this next week, or coming up this weekend. Anything you guys want to add? Anything you guys want to say?
No, man. Shout out to Coach Brown, girl dad, man.
Girl dad, yes. Zay, anything?
Coach Brown, shout out to all of our amazing listeners. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast, and
we'll be back soon. I want to dedicate this episode to former teammate of mine that sadly passed away, DeMarlo Belcher, of Fort Wayne, Indiana, man. He was a wide receiver for us at Indiana University where I played. It's actually had a post on this earlier today, man. I got the news this morning and it hit me like a ton of bricks, I'll be honest. Like, it was crazy to hear about, man. Young guy, man. He's probably about 2 or 3 years younger than me in age, and I remember him coming into Indiana, man. He was a young guy, kind of a basketball athlete that they recruited to play football, and it was just great to see him improve every day, work every day. He was a real laid back, chill cat, man. Super chill cat. Had a sweet soul, man, and just sad to see that he passed away. So I know my Indiana brethren, man, we trying to hold each other tight, man, as much as we can. And it was sad to see him pass away, and again, very young, too young, man. I mean, all these cats are too young, but especially being in your early 30s, that's way too young. So DeMarlo, man, rest in paradise, rest in peace. God bless your soul. God bless your family going through this difficult time. I couldn't imagine, man. I really couldn't, especially having a small child of mine. Like, I couldn't imagine at that young, tender age, just losing a child. Wow. But DeMarlo, man, you will be missed. You were loved, man. And again, you were a special guy that you definitely have a special place in my heart, man. So shout out to you, man. And much love to you and your family. And say what up, man, for me. Say what up to Coach Hepner. Say what up to Emil. Say what up to Hardy. Say what up to all them folk, man. Do that, man. All right. I'm wrapping it up, man. I love you guys, man. Tell your people, man. That reminds you. Tell your people you love them. You got any beef, squash them. You got things you want to say to people, say it, man. Don't hold back. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't do any of that stuff, man. Say it, mean it. Got love for somebody, tell them you love them, man. Because you just never know. And check up on your people too. Check on your family, check on your friends, check on your weak friends, quote unquote weak, or the ones that that need the help, and check on your friends that you feel like are strong and can take anything. Because people that are quote unquote strong and can take anything, I mean, those are the people you really got to talk to and be there for them. So make sure you're doing that. We out, man. So let's wrap it up. Fans, keep showing us love, keep showing us support, and we'll keep bringing you that funk. Peace.